We're talking about trying to encouraging Governor Schwarzenegger to streamline this permitting process. This amendment provides a governor with the option of requiring the federal EPA to provide the state with financial and technical resources to accomplish the job and establishes a certain permitting process for all parties. The public demands increasing supplies for transportation fuel, but they also expect that fuel to be good for their health and for the environment. And to that end, the amendment requires the EPA to establish a demonstration to assess the use of Fischer-Tropsch diesel and jet fuel as an emission control strategy. Initial tests have found that Fischer-Tropsch diesel significantly reduces criteria pollutants over conventional fuels, and it can easily be transported with existing infrastructure. Should be note that the ongoing tests at Tinker Air Force Base in my home state of Oklahoma found that the blends of Fischer-Tropsch, or coal to liquid aircraft fuel, reduced particulates 47 to 90% and completely eliminated the SOx emissions over fuels that are used today. And by the way, I might add, this is a technology that is here. It's needed to be improved upon. We're currently flying a B-52 that has 8 engines flying on this type of a fuel today. Good concepts in Washington are bad ideas if no one wants them at home. And as a former mayor of Tulsa, I'm a strong believer in local and state control. I know this is something that's controversial here in Washington. There are a lot of people in this body who don't think any decision is a good decision unless it's made here in Washington. But I'm just the opposite. I feel the closer to the people, they should be more involved, and that's why we structured this the way we did. The federal government should provide incentives rather than mandates on local communities. Increasing clean domestic fuel supplies is in the nation's security interest, but those facilities can also provide high-paying jobs to people in towns in need. Our amendment provides financial incentives to the 2 most economically distressed communities in the nation, towns affected by BRAC and Indian tribes, to consider building coal to liquids and commercial-scale cellulosic ethanol facilities. Here we're talking about people who have gone through the BRAC process, people who have in their states facilities that were military facilities that were closed during the base realignment and closure process. I'm very proud that my state of Oklahoma is a leader in the development of the energy crops for cellulosic biofuel. The key now is to promote investment, and nothing would speed the rapid expansion of cellulosic biofuels industry more than investment by the nation's traditional providers of liquid transportation fuels. We have in the state of Oklahoma the Noble Foundation, Oklahoma State University, and Oklahoma University, all very much involved in the development of the cellulosic biofuels. It's a thing that's coming. We know it is. I guess what we need to do is understand that while it is coming, we still need to run this great machine called America. Many integrated oil companies have formed and substantially expanded their biofuels divisions within the past year to prepare for the eventuality of cost-competitive cellulosic biofuels. Oil companies invest in exploration because their stock prices are affected by their declared proved reserves. Creating a definition of renewable reserves would create a similar incentive for them to invest in cellulosic biofuels. The Energy Policy Act of 2005 directed the Department of Energy to accelerate the commercial development of oil shale and tar sands. Given the country's interest in developing renewable alternatives to fossil fuel, it is logical that the SEC would develop criteria for the incorporation of biomass feedstock sources to its hierarchy at the same time. But this is Congress' least expensive way to jumpstart the cellulosic biofuels industry. Increasing capacity to produce clean fuels at home is critical in making America more secure. Passing the Gas Price Act would be a material and substantive action toward this majority's stated goal of energy independence. to vote against it underscores something altogether. They like higher gas prices at the pump. So what we're talking about is something that is permissive. It allows states to opt out if they want us to opt out. It streamlines the permitting process. It requires the EPA to establish demonstration to access the use of this Fischer-Tropsch diesel and jet fuels. It will help in our refinery capacity, whether we're talking about refineries for petroleum or refineries for biofuels or any other kind of refineries. And I would just have to say that to have a comprehensive energy bill, we need to do what we have done, what you have already done in this bill, but we need to address the problem that is there today, as was pointed out by the senator from New Mexico, that we have a supply problem. And that supply problem is here and now. The gas price amendment to expand our refining capacity would dramatically, immediately relieve that problem. Again, I would say that we have two supply problems. One is in production, the other is refinery capacity. I'll be glad to